Starbucks. What can we get started for you?
Hi, can I do a tall iced chai tea latte with the pumpkin cold foam? Hello, welcome back to another vlog. My name is Sarah. I'm a PhD candidate in English. I study rhetoric and composition, and I make a lot of videos about what my life is like. And I'm currently sitting in the Kroger parking lot, about to go grocery shopping. I got myself a chai tea latte with the pumpkin cold foam on top. I typically don't do 2 caffeinated drinks a day, but it's one of those days. This morning I had to wake up early and lead a dissertation writing group on Zoom. That's part of my job at the writing center. And I, of course, did some work of my own. So I deserve this little treat. So let's go into Kroger and get some groceries for the week. Just finished unloading the groceries, eating a quick little lunch, changing into slightly comfier pants that still feel a little too tight around the waist. That chai made me feel real bloated. And now I'm gonna go to campus for the first time all semester because I'm on fellowship, so I have no reason to go to campus. And I'm gonna meet with someone to chat about this award that I have not stopped talking about because the application process is quite detailed. And we're gonna talk about my OCQs and of course questionnaires and how to like recognize patterns and how to articulate like a cohesive story that shows that I have grown as an instructor. So let's go. Back home now, making myself a little PB&J. Okay, changed out of my outside clothes back into my GRAD fit from this morning. And I think I'm gonna take a little nap before Megan comes home from teaching and it's time to do dinner stuff. Halfway through the appointment where we were talking about basically how to find like patterns in your OCQs and basically just like more about the application in general, I felt my brain like overheating and I was like, there was like so much information and I'm struggling to process right now. I need to go to sleep like immediately. I don't do well when I've had like back-to-back nights without like solid restful sleep, and I didn't sleep super well last night and I didn't sleep super well the night before that. So I'm gonna take the best nap of my life. I'm gonna read a couple pages of Harry Potter and check in with you guys when I wake up and I'm a new human. It's almost 8:30. That's how late I slept in my nap, and Megan had dinner going. We are making, or made, she made Caesar salads with some pasta noodles and some chickpeas. And this dinner is really simple, but I promise it hits. Good morning, happy Wednesday. This morning I woke up, did some yoga as I showed you guys, and then I got to work on some writing. I wrote for about 2 hours. Don't have as much material to show for it, but I got like quite a bit of thinking done. Actually worked on the award materials instead of the diss, which I'm trying not to feel guilty about. That's what my heart was telling me, and I wanted to capitalize on those productive conversations I had yesterday at that meeting. I got the advice from my advisor that this semester I would find myself making any and every excuse to not work on the dissertation. Like I would find myself signing up for other projects and just all these other things like this award, just so I could avoid doing diss writing but still feel productive. And boy oh boy, was he right. Because I'm like, I'm still doing writing, but it's not the diss. I haven't looked at the dissertation since Thursday or Friday, so it's almost a week. And I feel a little bit anxious about that, but I'm telling myself I'm gonna look at it later today or tomorrow morning and everything's gonna be fine. If you're new here, I have been practicing cycle syncing for my writing process. So I'm in the phase of my menstrual cycle right now where I'm supposed to start like winding down, and I have a bit more attention to detail. So I should focus on like the editing rather than like creatively writing new content. And I need to listen to my body and actually do that, because as I was working on writing this teaching philosophy statement today, I found myself just like going back and editing and rewriting like every single sentence, and it was really hard for me to like produce a lot of content. Whereas like last week when I was in the ovulation stage, I produced like over 1,000 words in one day and didn't feel the need to like go back and do the editing. So it could be placebo effect, could be confirmation bias right now, but that's what I'm thinking. I wish that the ovulation stage lasted a little longer so I could get more writing done. I just feel like I'm fighting against the urge to like edit line by line. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up the morning shift for today's writing. I'm gonna get ready, maybe chill a little bit, and then I have to go to a haircut at noon, which is why my hair looks a little greasy, because I didn't wash it, because I figured she's gonna wash it for me. And then I'm gonna have to zip on over to the writing center to do my first tutoring in a long time. I took some time off from the writing center, so I feel like I haven't tutored in a while. Might be a little rusty, it's okay. And I'm hoping that the haircut doesn't take too long, because I only have a couple hours for it, and if she's backed up, I don't know, I don't want to be late to my shift, but I'm pretty sure everything will be fine. Prelly is really cuddling right now. Back home, here's the haircut. She always does such a good job. I showed her a picture of what I wanted. It had a little more layers, especially like higher layers up in the back. I wanted the bangs a little shorter, and it's so cute. I love it. I packed my lunch because I thought I was gonna have to go to campus straight from the hair salon, but it is 1:24 and I typically leave my house at 1:40 to get to campus to go to the writing center. So I'm just gonna eat my lunch now, pack some leftovers from last night. And I looked and I don't have anyone signed up for the first slot for my tutoring hours, so I think I'm gonna have a free hour to either do some work or read Harry Potter. Try to decide what I should do. Back home, didn't actually have to decide if I wanted to do work or read Harry Potter because someone signed up for the appointment slot. But that's okay. It actually felt really good to tutor again, especially since I'm not teaching this semester. I realized like I just miss talking to students about writing, and it's been like a year since I worked in the one-on-one space with writers, and that space is just like really fun. So I am not like totally drained of energy. I actually feel pretty good. It's about 5 o'clock. So I'm gonna try and spend another hour or two doing some more work on this teaching philosophy statement, just because I spent time this morning, but I didn't feel like I got a lot done. And I know I'll feel better about it if I go to sleep tonight, knowing that I like spent another little stint and try to do some work. So let me do that for a couple hours before it's time to do some dinner stuff. Just did under 2 hours of work. It is 6:49 right now. I once again wish that I had more to show for it, but I think this stuff is just really hard, and this is like when I get really frustrated when people like talk about teaching or like treat teaching like an afterthought. And this is like my beef with like R1 Research 1 schools. Like it's all about the research, when teaching and like pedagogical theory and just like writing about your pedagogy can sometimes feel so much more difficult than like doing research and writing my dissertation. And it's like totally a different kind of like intellectual and emotional labor, but it's really, really hard. And I'm having a hard time like narrowing down what I want to talk about, because I'm like, oh, I want to talk about everything, because you get like 5 to 8 pages double space, but clearly I can't talk about everything even in that much space. And oh, it's just tough. Teaching is my pride and joy, but it is very, very difficult and difficult to talk about. Okay, it is after 9:30. Just finished season 1 of Gilmore Girls and ate some cereal for dinner, because I tried to cook a meal that involved like a sweet potato, and I cut open the sweet potato and it was like gross inside, even though I literally just bought it from Kroger. And I said, you know, it's not a cooking night, it's a cereal night. So I'm gonna put my clothes away because I want to wake up to a clean room and then get in bed for the night. literally can't take myself seriously right now. I have like a pink polka dot headband on and a face mask, but it's 11 p.m. I took a shower to try and like calm down because I'm feeling a real stress. That's also why I put my clothes away, because I wanted to like wake up to like a clean space. But I think it's because I know I have my dissertation waiting for me in the morning. And it's been a minute since I looked at it, but I hate this feeling so much, especially because like the rational part of my brain is like, literally this doesn't matter. Like deadlines are arbitrary. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want. It's a dissertation that no one's gonna read, and it is like not nearly as high stakes as you think it is. But like the other part of my brain, the feeling center, is like, oh my god, red alert, there's a fire, you haven't got close, you haven't even like gotten done close to what you wanted to get done in the past week. And so, you know, things are battling a little bit up there, and it's manifesting in my body as nausea per usual, and it's just like a racing heart, and it's just tough. I might lay with an ice pack on my chest to try and calm down a little bit. Yeah, it's like hard for me to even like watch Gilmore Girls or like read Harry Potter, because I just find my mind like wandering to this like stress, and I don't know how to turn it off, and it's a bit tough. But I'm gonna try and get some good sleep tonight and just get after some things in the morning. Good morning, happy Thursday. It is in the 60s this morning. It was 61 just a minute ago. So I gotta get out there, go for a little walk, see how the progress with the physical therapy and the plantar fasciitis is doing, if you've been watching my vlogs for a while. And yeah, just enjoy the weather before I get started on being a productive girly for the day. It is almost 11:30. Been listening to the Gals on the Go pod. Made myself a little veggie sandwich, and I watched Danielle's vlog this morning from Gals on the Go, and now I'm gonna turn on Brooke's vlog. It's gonna be a little bit overwhelming for me, but I'm working with what I have. Before I take a post-walk shower, I'm gonna clean my bathroom. Gotta deep clean the shower, and just have a lot that I, you know, gotta sort through over here. Okay, clean the bathroom. And the Swiffer broke once again, so I tried to super glue it, and it like was a good temporary fix, but I just ordered a new one on Amazon. It was like $18. Sitting on my porch now. It took some time this morning to just like relax, have like a slow little start to the day, and I think that that was good. I'm feeling much less anxious than I was last night, but I'm still like nervous to open up this document and see where we're at, but it'll be okay. The weather is beautiful right now. It is like, you can tell fall is on the horizon, and I just want to work for a couple hours, and then I have a department potluck tonight, so I need to make like a dish that I'm gonna bring to that, and I want to like shower. I also want to like wash my hair, even though I just got it cut yesterday, because I want to try styling it myself. I also like feel like she could have cut the bangs a little shorter, honestly, but it's okay. Okay, I finished doing some work for today. I feel good about what I did. The biggest obstacle was obviously getting over that anxiety of opening it up for the first time. It felt so nice to sit outside, and I set some really realistic and manageable goals for the next couple days of writing sessions before I like try and get into more revision type stuff. And basically I feel like I'm always writing a literature review. I feel like anytime I sit down to write, it's just a literature review, and I don't know why that is. So I have to like go back and finish these like last 3 sections of a literature review, and I worked on like reorganizing some things, also read a couple articles, and I think I'm gonna call it quits for the day on work because it's almost 4 o'clock, and I'm gonna make this little cucumber salad for the department potluck. Okay, so I ordered this small curling iron on Amazon, not realizing it's quite that small. And And I'm gonna try and just do like a few strands and see what it looks like, because I think the plan is like to wash my hair anyway. So if it's awful, I can just return it and just wash it all out. Okay, I did like 5 strands and it is just like, it's not it. I mean, I'm still like getting used to using like an iron, not like a wand, but that wasn't my problem. It's just like way too tiny and I have way too much hair, and TikTok led me astray. It was supposed to be like really cute, like Taylor Swift Fearless era curls, but like look at that. What is that? It's gonna get returned. Okay, yeah, this is the haircut I was going for. I just needed to do like the blowout and the rollers and wash it with my own products. Like, look how voluminous this is. Like, she kills it. So fun. Okay, gonna go pick up Joanna and head over. I'm like obsessed with the hair. It's just a really simple fit. I tried on a dress just because I was like, jeans feels hot, but I haven't shaved my legs, but dress felt way too nice. So here we are. Good morning. Happy Friday. Made it to the end of the week. I feel like this week simultaneously went by really fast, and also like it was dragging on. I don't know. It's just one of those weeks. But I had a nice slow morning per usual for the week. I watched an episode of Gilmore Girls, sipped my coffee, and then I threw on some quick makeup and got ready for the day because I'm gonna be on Zoom for a couple hours. And now I'm going to, I think, make some like scrambled eggs and toast for breakfast, maybe have some fruit and yogurt, and then get into some writing. I feel significantly less anxious about it because I made that plan yesterday, and then hop on a Zoom call for a few hours. So I'm going to be part of something called the Digital Gardener Initiative. I've done like the grad student version of it, but this is like the faculty version. There were open spots left, and my advisor is like the person in charge, and he was like, hey, do you want to like be part of this? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So just to get more training on how to use like digital tools in the classroom. I feel like I know some already because I've taught like online writing and like digital literacy and stuff, but I think it'll be really good to see how he teaches it, and then to see and like just hear and learn about other ideas that other people have. And it's like across campuses, like not just IU, it's like open enrollment. So it'll be good to like network with people who are interested in like digital tools and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get the day started. Having one of those moments where writing is feeling hard. So I'm gonna take a quick break, and I think I just need more caffeine, honestly, which, hate to say it, but I'm not gonna get a coffee because that's like pretty harsh, but I'm gonna go to Starbucks, get a little matcha, especially since I have that 2-hour Zoom meeting. And I'm going on a mini golf date tonight. So I just want to have some like, I don't know, energy. That's the word I'm looking for. Writing is feeling hard, and I know I'm just getting tired. It's the end of the week, coming to like the end of my cycle, but I'm trying to fight. I'm really trying to fight for another hour or 2 on this. I also want to take a really quick moment to like think out loud about where I'm at in the dissertation, in hopes that 1, it's potentially interesting to some of you, and 2, it helps me clarify my ideas a bit more. So what I'm currently working on is a literature review of the origins of multimodal composition, basically starting in the late 90s. The origins of like modern day multimodal composition. And I'm grounding them all in like major technological developments. And as I've been going back through this literature in key pieces, I've been drawing specifically on the pieces that talk about like the teaching of multimodal composition and how they are specifically catered towards like their goal for like the exigence, I guess is what I'm looking for like why we need multimodal composition, is because students are using this in their everyday lives. Like, our courses are no longer going to be relevant to students if we only push like the 5-paragraph essay or even like print-based essays at all. We need to think more expansively about what counts as composition. And so they're all grounded in like making this relevant for students and the focus on students' everyday lived experiences. And we see that becoming like more and more of a trend the like further composition studies goes. And so I'm laying that all out in these key texts, and then I want to also articulate how like these trends like focused on the everyday experience have been like linked with technologies. Specifically, like 2014 was the year of the selfie. When YouTube came about, its slogan was broadcast yourself. When you signed onto social media, when like I first got a Facebook, it was like, what are you up to? Tell people what you're doing right now. When you had AOL instant messaging, AIM, you had like away messages that told them why you had to be away from the computer at the moment. And everything has just been about like talking about your daily life. So that's my sort of like into vlogs, which I'm like pretty proud of like recognizing that theme in the literature, because I think that's really interesting. And then also after I go through and do this like literature review for multimodal composition, highlighting like these 10 key texts, I want to say that in addition to like this push for multimodal composition rooted in people's everyday lives, there have also been like more implicit themes of embodiment that have gradually become more pronounced as like the years have gone on. Like there's maybe like 1 to 2 mentions of like students' bodies and embodiment in the very first thing I'm talking about in 1996, where they talk about situated pedagogy. But in things that are being produced recently, like in an edited collection from 2018, which isn't even that recent anymore, which is wild, there is like a manifesto for like what multimodal composition is, and there's like a whole section of like 5 sections on multimodal composition, and one of them is like all about embodiment. And so yeah, I want to like do like one literature review that has these, that talk specifically about multimodal composition and its like turns and stuff, and then I want to say, okay, now let's look at those same texts and see how like embodiment was playing out. Because I feel like it's too much to give just the 10 texts and to say, here's like the shape of multimodal composition and look at this really cool theme about how it's related to students' everyday lives. And also there's mentions of embodiment. I feel like I have to go back through after and say, look, here were these themes of embodiment. Otherwise I feel like the writing won't be clear and it's not going to make sense to people. But then I'm like caught up because I'm like, oh, but like the turn to everyday lives, like that is a facet of embodiment. Like I consider like paying attention to like your everyday life, like lived experience, that's embodiment. So I think that's why it's feeling hard. But that's where my brain is at. Hope that made sense. Got my matcha. I almost got a nice pumpkin spice latte, but I said the tummy issues are not worth it. And I'm making some Annie's mac and cheese for lunch. That laptop on a Friday afternoon. Good morning, happy Saturday. Let's go play some pickleball with Megan. Coming to you live from the editing zone, which is also the dissertation writing zone. But I have finished editing the vlog, and I never like really do this where I pop back in afterwards and like reflect on the process. But I watching this back, I realized how incredibly anxious I was, and it was hard to watch back. So I'm not gonna apologize, because my goal for this YouTube channel is to show you like realistic, authentic content, what it's like to be a grad student, and some weeks are really, really hard. And I can try and like hypothesize why this week was really hard, but I think it just boils down to I had a lot of anxiety and a lot of big feelings, and everything was just feeling really high stakes. But I'm going to be better this next week because I already feel a lot less anxious. I think I was just spending a lot of time writing, and like what I was producing wasn't matching up with like the time and energy that I felt like I was putting into it. But honestly, that's just how it goes sometimes. And if you write at all, you know that the process really ebbs and flows. Nothing is perfect, and I'll get after it this next week and everything will be okay. But if you guys made it to the end, thank you so much for watching this video. As I mentioned in the little text, Megan won pickleball, but I'll get her next time. And if you are not following me on Instagram already, you should do that. Follow me on TikTok, subscribe, leave a comment, and again, thank you for bearing with me through these very anxious days. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.